why you don't understand, and then that way we can.
Yeah, that's what this is all about anyways.
All right, guys, welcome
I don't know
back
if we're-
to our second edition of Shane putting a motor together. Sorry about that. We had some issues with our Zoom, and it says this Zoom meeting's good for 40 minutes. I don't know why it's doing that.
So talk fast.
Yeah. All righty. So what we want to do is we want to lube up the rings. Looks like you did that. Now let's slide that cylinder on without a base gasket. So make sure those rings are lined up.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to readjust, or I just moved it, so I just want to make sure. I'm really hating the fact that I didn't take the stupid prop off, because it's kind of in my way.
That's just more work.
All right, right there. Sorry for my elbow. And that's in. Okay. So we are now taking the jug. Correct?
Yes.
Eric?
Yep. We're going to take the jug, and of course you can see where the exhaust bolts up to the jug. So that's the position that's going to go.
Nope, I gotta say I hate not taking the prop off. Okay, so now I'm stuck here on the rings on the piston head.
Yep. So take your fingers and start, kind of pushing the top one, kind of squeeze it together and get it to slide over the first section. Dutch Daddy Dutch Barbecue said, this boy can't even cook and he's going to work on an engine.
Yeah. I should go work on trailers. No, I'm gonna tell you right now, Eric, it was a bad move not fucking taking this prop off. It's all up in my way.
So what you could do is use both hands to kind of compress that ring and maybe have Chris to slowly put a little bit of pressure on that.
Give me 5 seconds because this prop's coming off. It's literally in my way.
Okay.
100% in my way. And since I'm sweating like there's no tomorrow now because I'm absolutely nervous.
No need to be nervous. All we have to do when that happens is open the door. Cold air comes flying in. So let's see what other interesting facts I can find here. I'm going to give you a good website. Will, maybe you can put this in the chat. It's called southwestairsports.com. And
that is a good website. I've used that multiple times. They've got really good detailed how-tos in there, if that's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, so this is a kind of a good techie website. And it tells you just about anything. And if you go into the paramotor info button on there, it will tell you anything about whatever paramotor you're working on. And basically how we're going to do the things that we're going to do today here. And that's just the deck measurements on that jug. And it's a squish measurement. And you do that for 2-stroke engines.
Oh my goodness.
So it sounds like
Apparently.
taking the prop off would be helpful, but not necessary.
Well, it's just in my way at this point. I got to get both hands on there, plus hold the top the jug. It's just a pain in the butt. And this is probably only the third time I've ever taken this prop off since I've owned this motor, and one was in school.
Well, at least now we can torque it down to the proper torque specs.
There you go.
I thought it was. Tighten it until
Till
it
you hear it cry.
squeaks.
Till you hear the crush
Yeah.
and then you take it off a little bit.
I can't believe just how much I am so nervous about all this.
It'll be fine. Bill H said that he received his chase cam in the mail. Okay, spray that down with 1 whole can of Lysol,
Yeah.
then put it together.
Would you like to tell everybody what you did to me, Eric?
What do you mean? Which time?
I mean the five people that you've left lasting impressions on.
Yeah, so I go to Florida with Jade and Savannah. And obviously, Florida is just a big infestation of COVID. And I think I caught something from Mark when I was talking to him on the phone when we were down at Aviator. Because I can't think of anywhere else I got it, but I got COVID real bad on Tuesday and pretty much spread the wealth to everybody down there. So Krista's sick.
Except for Shane. Shane feels great.
Smart Car Brian is sick, or no, his wife is sick. Krista, Savannah, Jade. So I thought it was the sniffles, but
This day and age. No, I went and got a test done yesterday. I got to wait. Krista already got her test results back. She's positive. I've kissed her about 6 times on the lips today, and I finished her dinner. I ain't scared. I feel fine.
it's those genes. It's the superior genes.
The tight ones?
Yes.
I believe they're called Wranglers.
Yes.
All right. So do you ever put any like blue Loctite on your prop?
I do.
bolts?
I do, but that's just me.
I did too, and I could barely get these dang things off.
That's why I put them on.
All right, back to what I was trying to do.
Yeah, so maybe use 2 hands, and if Chris could just put a little pressure on that.
Kristen has
jug-
bailed.
Oh, she bailed on you. That's okay. So start at the back end and then work your way to the front.
Okay, got that one.
And just make sure that those ring where the groove, where they come together is still in that.
Yeah, I'm
And
gonna have to check
since-
this bottom one. Oh, you bitch. Oh,
You're gonna be a pro at
well,
this
since I can't
because
see,
we're gonna have to do it again.
is there a delay in our with me?
I
Because
think-
every time I go to say something, I don't get heard.
There is a delay.
For the life of me, I cannot see this back hole.
I think those connection, they're gonna be on the top part of that piston.
They are not.
They're on the bottom, okay.
No, this one on the bottom ring is literally right here on top.
Okay,
So that one's set. This one is in the freaking back,
yeah.
and I can't see the damn thing. Oh, I'm already losing my S right now. Oh, I don't like complications. That's why I married Krista.
Hey,
She's
look
so
at the
easy to
net.
get along with.
Look at the net.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no more cut in that net from a hook
Huh.
knife.
No more dumb stuff that Shane did.
Nice.
All right, let me see if I can find it this way, because I cannot
James says
get
oil
around.
helps. Yeah, we lubed up those rings.
Oh, come on. This is seriously a dumb problem to have, just so you know. And the hole is so small you can't feel the stupid thing.
Yes, they are small. James, yeah, the arrow does face the exhaust port on the cylinder. On those.
Okay. I am set there. And here. Okay. Let's try this once more. And I am going to try to hurry because I do want to get this done. Although I have no intentions on flying anytime soon, I would like to have the motor up and running.
Nope, we are going
When it comes-
to have this thing, take your time. It's definitely something you don't want to rush through. So let's see, just kind of a recap. There's 5 different pistons that you can purchase for these motors: A, B, C, D, and E. And they all are dependent on the wear of your cylinder. If you still have a round cylinder, you can take those measurements, contact your supplier, and they will tell you which piston you need. If you need help with that information as far as how to measure it, if you go on to the Viterazzi website, you can go to the technical frequently asked questions, go to engines, go to whatever engine you have, go to the cylinder head and piston, and then you will find all that great information. So Bill, if you take that chase cam and use it, could you give us a review? If it's a poor review, that's fine. It's not my design. I would like to know, how it performs. Yeah, we did, James, we did clean out the decompression port. We also honed out his cylinder to make sure that we don't have any burrs, and we also put a new cross hatch pattern in there, and to make sure that it is a fairly round cylinder. DP, we plan on doing more shows like this. It is
Not me.
maybe I can do more shows like this. Don't want to put Shane through this.
Oh, this sucks. This sucks. Krista.
Yeah, if you're not used to doing it, it does get difficult. Cross hatch, James. Cross hatch.
I got this thing to go on once, but now it don't want to go on at all. All right. I got the first one on ish.
Okay.
But I'm going to have a little issue because it does not. Where the hole lines up with the I just need you to stand over here and push down on this when I tell you to. Hold on. See, I think. Let's see, the bottom one is move. Oh, fuck. All right, hold on here. Let me readjust this bottom one again. Okay. Top one's ready.
So there is a compression tool that you can buy. It's a split compression compressor. Let's see if I can do a share screen. I don't think
All
I
right, when I
can.
tell you push, just
No.
push evenly down. Go, go ahead. All right, easy. It's not going in. It's not going in fucking straight. So I plan to fly after Eric makes his next visit to Florida, because this motor is still going to be taken apart by then.
No.
Motherfucker, man. Oh, I'm pissed now. Oh. Push this piston down. Or push the thing I told you to push. All right, easy. It's just a little light pushing. The bottom will not go in. Okay. Well, yeah. All right, back off. No. See, I can't get the bottom.
Is that bottom one getting?
All right, you're. I'm not doing it right or something. It's fine. I don't know why. It should be up here, which it should be more to the side, but it'll be in the way.
There's another easy way to do it also, and that is to take a hose clamp and slowly clamp down on it, not tight where it's strapped around the piston, but just to compress that ring a little bit. And then you tap that cylinder down. I know we don't have a hose clamp readily available, but that is another way to do it.
No, stop. That's not going to work, Crystal. You got the hand strength of a 4-year-old, and you want me to let you try this. You're hilarious. All right, just push down, please. Okay. Right there. Hold on. I just don't know why this bottom one. I can get the top one in. All right, push it in.
Yeah, don't force. Just make sure it's pushed in all the way around.
Right. Okay, I got it.
All right.
Past the bottom.
Yep. Now hold on. Take out your paper towels. Okay. Now take a little bit of that 2-stroke oil and smear it on the inside of the cylinder wall.
Okay, so James says the rings have to be perfectly pinched or have to perfectly pinch the pin located in the groove.
That's what we showed earlier.
Yes.
There's 2 grooves on that piston ring, and the opening of the rings need to be where those holes are. Okay. And those are.
And apparently I wasn't lining or pushing them in perfectly, but they're in now.
So that was the reason you were having trouble getting it to go on?
Yeah, because I would push, let's say I'd push on the side this way and the bottom would stick out or the top would stick out. So it was almost like you had to grab it all the way around. And what I ended up doing is pushing the bottom of the cylinder or the jug down over the bottom and then squeezing the top, and then it went in.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so now we have no base gasket on there. So in other words, there's no gasket between the block and that cylinder, which is what we want right now. So let's go ahead and you coated the inside of that. Let's go ahead and tap down the head or just push it down. Yep. All right, perfect. Now what we want to do is get your head and put your head on your block studs there. And the head has a little circle below the spark plug hole, and that circle goes down. Yep. Okay, and our studs are the studs going through the head there.
Can't really see.
Yes.
I don't know if you could.
Hold on,
spot it.
I'm moving the camera. My camera
Okay,
lady
perfect.
left.
Perfect. All right, now on these heads, they use an rubber O-ring to seal. We want to keep that out for right now. We don't want
See?
that rubber O-ring. So let's go ahead and put the washers on those studs. And then the nuts on those studs.
Hold on one second here. The screws I've got. One second, I need to find my kit here. There's the screws that I have are not, I think they're these. Okay. Nope, I have the right ones now. One second.
Bill H, yeah, we're gonna have to, once we measure the squish, then we're going to do the mathematics to find out what size base gasket we're gonna have to put on. So we're not gonna tell Shane yet, but we have to pull the head back off, pull the
Already
jug
got
back
it.
off, and then put the
Already
new
got it.
gasket on.
I'm supposed to be using these new washers, right?
You can use the new ones, that's fine. And you can use the
No,
new.
I already knew when I put that on without a gasket in there. I was like, this has got to come back off. Great.
Great. It's going to go so much easier the second time.
Yeah. You would think it was 110 degrees here. Whew, I'm sweating up a storm. All right. Am I tightening these up or?
Yep. So in the Viterazzi manual says those head nuts are going to be tightened down between 16 and 17 Newton meters. We're going to split the difference. We're going to go to 145 inch pounds with the conversion. That's what it comes out to. So what we want to do is, you know, you're going to do a star pattern. You're going to go back and forth kind of at a diagonal over the spark plug hole, because we don't want to do one side and then the other side. So just do a few turns on each one just to start getting things seated up a little bit. Do not crank down one bolt a lot right away. We're just going to go back and forth across them. There you go. And we're just going to let things settle up a little bit in there. And then when you go back to doing them again, you know, just do a couple more turns. And then when you feel the torque wrench click, you know, you're good. I would just go through each one a little bit, each one again. And you just want to get that head to compress evenly. And a lot of times, if you ever see a torque spec that has two different torque specs, so the first one might be 120, and then you're going to see another one that says 140. So what you're going to do is kind of do what Shane's doing, but then your first torque sequence is going to go to that 120 and you do all 4 nuts. And then you're going to go to your next torque spec, which is 140, and do them all again until you hit that 140 mark. Yeah, Bill H, you're correct. You always want to go to the higher end of the squish, because if you go to the lower end, you will be searching for high octane fuel, just so you don't pre-ignite or ping. Are we all
Okay.
tightened down?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so now we need to find our stick of solder.
Yes, I got that. And what do we need to do now?
Okay, so we're going to fold over. We're going to take like an inch of it and we're going to fold it over. And then we're going to twist it. Yep. So go ahead and straighten it out. And then take the last inch of it and fold it over. Or inch and a half, whatever. And then what you want to do is twist that. Twist it really tight, really tight. Okay.
It's gotta be tighter than that.
No, you're good. All right. So what you're going to want to do is put it into you're going to want to make it a 90. So when you go into that spark plug hole, you want the end that's twisted to hit the cylinder wall. So you may need to do a little bit more of a 90.
Okay,
Can you hit the edge of that cylinder wall?
I'm hitting something. Hold
Okay.
on. All right. So it's 90 down. I'm at the top of the piston head
Yep.
and the
And you
wall.
want to go all the way over to the cylinder wall.
I'm pretty sure I'm over there.
Okay. As long as you're over there. Now what you want to do is slowly pull on don't let that solder drop down, because we don't want it to go into the exhaust port. But what we want to do
Okay.
is slowly pull the rope to turn that engine over. And you just have to do it real slow. You don't have to do anything.
And am I supposed to follow it down with the piece of solder?
No, don't let the solder drop down,
Right.
but make sure that it is up against that cylinder wall.
Yeah.
And then you're going to feel that piston come up, and it's going to kind of grab that solder. And when it
Well, I
grabs
didn't feel
that solder,
Hold on. Let me reshape this. I've pushed and pulled. All right, we're definitely along the wall. And it's supposed to pull it.
no, it's going to actually try to push it up, because what you're doing is you're pinching the solder between the head and the piston.
Okay.
And then you're gonna measure the solder.
Correct.
I participated.
All right, it's up against the wall.
Okay.
Now I can kind of leave it like that.
Yep.
Either it's not hitting or because it's, I mean, the head's down there now. All right, explain this to me again because I am not
Okay.
understanding the logic.
Okay, do this. Look inside of the spark plug hole and pull that rope until you see that piston coming up.
Till it's all the way up.
No, it doesn't have to be all the way up. You just want it to be close to all the way up. So like a ½ inch away.
Okay. All right, it's sitting on the piston head now and the wall.
Okay, perfect. Now go ahead and turn that, pull that rope, and we're going to complete that cycle until that piston starts going back down.
And what am I checking for? I mean, I'm just pulling this line for.
Yeah, so did
I
it
don't-
feel like it touched the solder?
Did it touch what?
Does it feel like it touched the solder? The piston came up and squished that solder? Is the solder flat? In other words, does it look like it pinched it?
Up against the top of this?
Yeah. Yep.
No. Where the
So
hell is the mouse?
Your twists are not flattened out.
No, it's
Okay.
all it's doing is bending. It's just bending the. So right there, it did that.
Okay, you got to have, okay, so go ahead and straighten that out again. And then on 2 inches of that, okay, hold on, let me quickly do some math here. Because I think those
Get the
are,
piston head back up.
yeah, so if you take 2 inches from the end of your twisted side and put a 90 in it there,
Okay.
now push that into the hole, and you need that to hit the cylinder side.
All right. I am on the wall and on top of the piston head.
Okay, so bring that piston all the way back up now.
Am I supposed to be holding this wire so it doesn't move?
Yeah, you don't want that to go inside, because what it can do is it could fall into the exhaust port and then mar up the side of the wall of the cylinder, or put a mark in the ring. And either one would, you'd have no fun.
You're not listening to the question. Is it supposed, as the piston comes back up, is it supposed to push on this to do something?
It's supposed to squish. So you have on the outer side of that cylinder, you have what's called the squish band. And that is it's like a ½ inch all the way around the outside of the head of the piston, the top.
Right.
And it's that squish band is between the piston and the cylinder head. So that's where we want to get that solder to get squished, is in there. And then we can do the math to get our measurement for our gasket.
The problem is I don't understand the terms that you're using.
Right. No, I know.
So no, it's so once I put this in 2 inches or
Yep.
90, 2-inch 90, actually could probably go just a smidge more in. And there's the wall. Whoopsie, I lost it. Okay, there's the wall. And I gotta bring the piston back up a little bit.
So we're not trying to get that to the top of the piston. We're trying to get it all the way to the outside of the cylinder. if that makes sense.
Yes. All right. So where that piston hits the top of this is what we're trying to get this to crunch into.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Bill H says he uses thicker solder. We may have to put another twist in that if it's not.
Yeah, because it's not even coming up and touching this.
Okay, go ahead and fold that over maybe 2 more times and then twist all those together. Tony, we're trying to measure this for the base gasket. So that's the gasket that sits between the cylinder and the block. The head gasket is actually a rubber O-ring on these motors, engines.
And we're probably going to lose this feed again.
Yep, I see that.
And it's still not wanting to hit the top of this doggone thing. I'm not getting nothing here.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead and don't do a 90, just do kind of an arc. And we'll see if we can get that thing to slide over and hit the side of that. Because when it gets to the top dead center, you should feel some resistance.
I felt it touch it that time, but not a lot. That's stuck in there now. I got. Gonna lose my stuff, Eric. Oh, I hate working on motors. This is why nothing works.
Well, it was stuck in there. Isn't that a good thing? Isn't that what you're kind of trying to do? To mash it down? Mash the solder down? Solder?
Yep, we want that to pinch in there. So guys, we're gonna lose this feed in about a minute. Give us 5 minutes and we will be back. I'm gonna work with Shane on this and Jade's gonna work on our Zoom and try to figure out what's going on there. But we will be back. So come and find us in 5 minutes